My name is Suraje Dessai. I'm a professor of climate change adaptation at the University of Leeds. So I am one of the champions of the Strategic Priorities Fund UK Climate Resilience Programme. So which I share with Kate Lonsdale. So our role is to lead and lead the programme, to shape it, and to try to integrate a lot of the projects that are being funded throughout the projects to maximize it for the benefit of UK climate resilience. The program is funding research that is better aligned with UK government priorities. So when it's doing that, it's trying to produce useful, not only high quality research, but research that will also benefit government departments and other stakeholders. It could be water companies all the way to the public as well. So the research will benefit the country in a variety of ways. So for example, one very specific way will be by enhancing our capability of doing climate change risk assessments. So the government, through the Climate Change Act of 2008, is required to do a climate change risk assessment every 5 years. And so there's one ongoing right now, which is the third generation. And the research that we're doing now in terms of improving that capability will enable the government and folk who will be doing that risk assessment to do a better job next time around when they do the fourth one. And this is really important because it then informs very important national decisions about how do we adapt to a changing climate in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. So that's just one example of how this program could benefit the country. Climate resilience, the concept of resilience does mean different things to different people. In this specific context of climate, I guess a simple way to describe it is around shocks and bouncing back from shocks. So a shock could be an extreme weather event that leads to some flooding that then has an impact on infrastructure and then has an impact on people. I guess the concept of resilience then is around how, do people, can they absorb that shock, for example, of not having electricity or being flooded, their house being flooded? So how much can they bounce back with that shock? And that could be for infrastructure, but also natural systems and people as well. So in a very simplistic way, it's very much the ability to bounce back from climatic extremes and shocks. So I guess the program, it's got it in the title, UK Climate Resilience, and what we do in the program is we break it down into three main areas. So one is around trying to characterize the risks. So what is the risk? So talking again about those shocks, what is the risk of extreme weather events now and in the future? So that's quite important. The second theme focuses on how do we manage the risk, and again, that's exactly about how individuals, organizations, and government, how is it that they can manage that risk? How can they respond to the risk? And the final one, where we're looking at actually developing some climate services, so to produce useful data and information that various organizations can use, again, to manage that risk. So it really then helps them bounce back from any particular shocks. But there's also an element of potentially of taking advantage of opportunities. So it's not all going to be negative. There are going to be opportunities with a growing season, for example. Agriculture could be expanded. There'll be less winter-related deaths, potentially more tourism. So there are both risks and opportunities. And so the concept of climate resilience is trying to capture both of those as we try to adapt as a nation.